Hey everybody, this is So Many Sequels, your book club for movies. I'm Josh.
I'm Garrett.
And I'm David.
Welcome to a new episode of the show. This is going to be, we're going into the very end here of our Action August month. So look forward to our review of True Lies coming out here in a couple days. That is our fan pick of the month. That's what you guys voted for on our social media channels. If you're not following those yet, you can go check out our Instagram at So Many Sequels Pod. We're also on Threads and TikTok and Facebook. So go check those out. That's where we will post our monthly fan votes so that you guys can go in there and help us pick the last movie. Or it's probably going to be last movie every month. I don't know. I can't say every month, but probably.
Gives us more time to collect the votes and get the popularity going. Yeah. Submit your stuff, and then we'll vote on your stuff, and then we'll watch your stuff. That's usually how it works.
Bingo. So we got that coming up. But first, let's catch up on what's been going on with us lately. David, you been watching anything? You see any new movies, new to you movies? Is your Letterboxd moved?
New? No. New to me, yes. I've told you guys in the past about Nikki's Picks. These are movies my wife makes me watch, which we don't do all the time, but when we have the time, she cracks them out. And this week, she finally got me to watch, or within the last week at least, she got me to watch Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. This is a movie she's been wanting to show me for quite a while. Have you guys ever seen Sweeney Todd?
I have not.
So, it's the adaptation of the Stephen Sondheim play, starring Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter, directed by Tim Burton. So,
Everyone's
already not
favorite.
sure. Already not sure. Gotta say, personally, I didn't love it, but I liked the music well enough. I thought that the music to me was the best part about it. But it was just kind of so drab in the way that it's, presented, and it's so, I don't know, it's not like a scary story. Huh?
Tim Burton-y?
Yeah, I think it's it's the Burton of all of it that really sort of...
And the depth of it all.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And
as much as I like a lot of the other actors...
I like Sweeney Todd, but it's the Depp and the Burton for me.
I don't know. It's such a gruesome story, too. Not necessarily scary, but just kind of gruesome. And so I was just kind of like not really totally into it. But I understand why people would like it. I'm not an anti-Sondheim guy. I'm a big Sondheim guy, in fact. But they didn't even sing the one song I know, which is the opening prologue.
Yeah.
As one Letterboxd reviewer said, it's no The Office season 6 episode 8 Andy's Party or Andy's Play, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, yep, I remember. I hate that. What a reference. All right, well, yeah, Sweeney Todd. Well, I'm glad that you've at least expanded on your musical palette. You are not one to have seen a lot of musicals. So some say you hate them. Some are saying you hate them. I don't know.
Some might say.
Many are saying. Anyway.
Yeah.
Garrett, you watched a brand new movie. Ooh, notes are being written as I write. You watched a brand new movie and a new to you movie that came out, but I want to hear about that one first. Did you stream that on Peacock?
Immaculate?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I totally forgot that I watched it. It was all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was okay. It delivered on what it was trying to do, right? It was perfectly fine.
Wait a minute.
I don't really have a ton to say about it. It didn't sink in enough to be memorable, but it was certainly fun in the time because I was talking. I mean, any time that I'm talking in a horror movie, then it is doing its job of making me feel some kind of discomfort, and I had a lot to say during this movie. But I don't remember much about it. I do recommend it. Go watch it. It's fun, and it's streaming, so why not?
That is a great review. That movie.
Yeah, and people at home, you gotta love the transition from Sweeney Todd to Sydney Sweeney. And Josh,
Sweeney X Sweeney. You can't be honest with that.
That's the crossover movie that Hollywood needs, right there.
Yeah.
Get the same person who wrote Freddy vs. Jason and get Sweeney vs. Sweeney, and then we got it going. That's going to revitalize the box office. That's
Sweeney
done.
X Sweeney, New Empire.
Well, the thing is, the most interesting thing about Immaculate to me is that Sydney Sweeney has been instrumental in getting the movie made, and she's been working on the movie for the past 10 years. When she first auditioned for it, and is now produced this version of it. And I remember seeing an interview with her where she basically said that doing basically movies like Anything But You, her big rom-com with Glenn Powell, is what pays for her to make movies like this.
That's
Just
great.
Weird,
I love that.
off-the-wall BS,
Yes.
which is what Immaculate is.
Yes, and we love those movies here in so many
Yeah,
sequels.
we
So
do.
this is a so many sequels endorsed movie. It just was, one of those where it's the experience was more fun than the movie itself.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was it more fun than the other movie you watched this week? Which I know
It was.
This franchise has special ties to you with The Crow.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna do it. I didn't want to really, but I have a list, so it was free if you think about it. But I went to see the 2024
Boy money.
release of The Crow, starring a Skarsgård. I think it's Bill.
Is Bill?
Yeah, okay, and FKA Twigs.
Sure.
I'm not sure
Elon
if
Musk's
people
wife?
know.
I don't know who that is.
I'm not sure if people know this person, but they are in this movie. So they are billed in this movie together. And I love The Crow, the original one with Brandon Lee. I watch it every Devil's Night, October 30th. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's definitely like a cult classic, and it has the history of Brandon Lee and his death, so there's a lot connected to it. I always wait for that movie to be bad. And every time I watch it, once a year, it does what it's supposed to do. And it's a good movie. If you go look at how it's rated, especially in Rotten Tomatoes, and we're going to talk about their rating system a little bit later, but if you go look at the Rotten Tomatoes score for the Crow franchise, the original one is the only good one. Everything else is garbage. And this one follows that trend. And I'm not even trying to compare. I don't like to go in to compare how is this going to be to the one I like, because that only sets this movie up for failure. I try to go in and appreciate what it is, and I didn't. And neither did the people who left next to me. They also did not appreciate what was on the screen. And I got to agree with them, because I was pretty close to it. Again, I just was like, it's free, and it's The Crow, so I feel like I must stay. It was long. It was slow. They did change a lot from the original. And it just wasn't a great time. I don't recommend it. I feel like some teens out there might enjoy it, the same vein that I found it and liked it.
Yeah.
But it's not for me. Not my Crow.
How many? Hashtag not my Crow. How many years in a row would you say you've been doing that? Have you skipped
15
years?
at minimum, I'd say. I'd say 15 at minimum, yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
You.
It's almost half
It
your life.
started as
You're
just like
watching
something
this
fun to
movie
do.
Is old enough to
And
get
then-
a learner's permit.
Yeah, that's a gross way to word that, and that's
See, and I
Isn't
haven't
it though?
Yeah.
I probably haven't watched The Crow since I was like 12, so I'm not even
Yeah.
sure if I could accurately compare the two if I went and saw the new Crow.
You shouldn't.
Um,
They're not comparable.
You shouldn't. Oh,
Just
wow.
yeah.
How-
And you
what-
shouldn't
how-
see
what-
it. I don't
how was-
recommend it. I don't.
How was Skarsgård though? Was he at least interesting in the role?
He's always commanding. I mean, he is famous for a reason. The man can act. He is a very engaging personality. So I didn't have an issue with him. He did the best with what he had, and he didn't have much.
The best thing that come out of this is it inspires Darby Allin to change his face makeup.
He might like it, actually. He might find
He
it
might.
fun.
He might.
Darby, if you're listening and you enjoy it, come on the show. We'll get you on there. Josh is here like, who's Darby?
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. All right,
No
The
one knows,
Crow.
yeah.
That comes with a stamp of not approval.
Nah,
The stamp of no approval.
Of no approval. We stamp out things we don't approve. Not
Yes,
approved.
we try to save you some time.
Yeah.
Well, from a supernatural anti-hero to supernatural normal heroes or something.
Sure.
Josh?
Yeah, I didn't make it to the theater this week, but I did watch Ghostbusters Afterlife finally on streaming. I hadn't seen it, and I don't really know what possessed me to do it. To be honest with you,
A ghost.
Time.
it
were
felt like one
possessed.
of those things where I was like, oh, I saw it, and I thought if I want to watch it now, I should do it, because I probably won't want to again.
Yeah.
So I gave it a shot, and I gotta say, one, not even like pun intended, but one of the more lifeless movies I've seen in a long time. Just completely devoid of life and joy. It's just kind of like it felt like a long commercial. That's what the depth to me felt like.
Maybe you agree with this. Nikki told me, because she went and saw this movie, and she said that she misses when Ghostbusters was comedy first versus being all about like the supernatural science
Yeah,
part
I
of it.
would agree with that. This is Ghostbusters is a comedy about this ridiculous premise, and now Ghostbusters is the premise, and they like put jokes in there sometimes. And like this one is like kid Ghostbusters, you know what I mean? Like you've got Finn Wolfhard, McKenna Grace as the two main kids.
Oh.
And would you guys believe, I don't know if you may know this or not, that like all of this movie is set in Oklahoma.
Yeah, I did know that.
I did know
this
that,
is,
yeah.
This is Afterlife. This isn't the new one from this year, Frozen Empire.
No, I decided to
Correct.
watch this one first because I don't know these kids.
Yeah. This one has
So-
Paul Rudd and stuff.
Yeah, so much of it is set in Oklahoma, clearly written by people who didn't do any it was like no.
They did not consult with the Oklahoma Film
It's
office.
like they didn't even try to pretend to do a good job of it, in my opinion. It was like
Nobody
they
knows
thought
anything
so
about
little of
Oklahoma.
it. It's literally like they went, no one would give a fuck
Yeah.
if we
flyover.
just
need a
flyover.
There were a couple
we need
things
a
where
middle America state.
yeah, it is dumb. It's dumb. I have heard interesting things about the second one maybe being better. I don't know. But
Yeah, I'm not sure.
yeah, they just like 2016 Ghostbusters was way better than this. What
I need,
happened?
yeah, I was just about to say, I need people in my face to look me in the face and tell me that these movies are better than the female Ghostbusters movies that they shat on for all those years. Because
Yeah.
I've seen that movie, and it is fun, and it is funny, and it is Ghostbusters second, fun
I can't speak
first.
for the Frozen one, but this one was not as good as
Yeah.
that one. Yeah.
I have not seen anything after Ghostbusters 2. Personally, I have no nostalgia for Ghostbusters.
Are
Like,
you one of
they're-
those?
they're-
Too bad they never made any more Ghostbusters movies.
no, like I would see them, but I have really very little interest in seeing new Ghostbusters movies. This just wasn't something that I was like really a big fan of growing up. They're fun movies. I actually, hot take, I actually like Ghostbusters 2 more than the first Ghostbusters. But, I just never would like even when
Ghostbusters
they
2 is
first,
good.
yeah, when they first announced
And let me tell
they
you
were coming
also,
out, I was like, ugh, whatever.
this movie's a few years old, so I don't care. At the end, when there's like the big reveal of all the Ghostbusters back together, the old men Ghostbusters, it just was sad looking to me.
Yeah,
At no point was I like, oh, even like, Indiana Jones, I was like, he still looks good in that damn hat. It's good to see him one more time. Bill Murray, I was not. I was like, he just looks old and tired.
he does.
He
And
looks
none of
like
them
the
really
ghost
look
they
like
trying to be
they're-
And Dan
busting.
Aykroyd is still there doing Dan
None
Aykroyd
of them look like they're
things.
interested in being there, really.
Yeah, for sure.
It's
for sure.
It's like sometimes it's not that fun to see the band back together.
No. Made a lot of money though. Made enough, I guess.
Yeah,
For that.
Would
made
you say that
after
this
Frozen.
is verified hot by the new metrics of Rotten Tomatoes, though, Josh?
I don't know, but I am ready to talk about that. So you guys know this. Rotten Tomatoes always trying to innovate the way that people tell each other what to watch. And now their newfangled idea, they've brought in Fandango. I didn't even mean to do that. But Fandango is actually their parent company. Fandango
Fandango.
owns Rotten Tomatoes. But what they're doing is they're putting verified hot stamps, speaking of stamps of approval, on movies that have a audience score of, it has to be at least 90% and it has to be by people who purchased tickets through Fandango already. So that's how they know they bought them, the people who are logged in. So they're touting it as, oh, this is verified hot ratings from people who actually bought the movie, not from review bombers. But really, it's people who bought the movie from Fandango. And I don't know what that is. I don't know what that means. I don't know how many people buy through Fandango. Is that a good sample size? I don't know.
It makes it fun for
a lot of
them.
people do, I'm sure.
Good for them. You know, it makes it feel like a little bit social. It adds an element of social media to it, and like, oh, look at us, people who buy this there, and we have our own rating, and take it for what it's worth.
You know, and it provides them with an equal set of rules, because like what, they have the rotten, they have the fresh, and they have the certified fresh, so now they have the what is it called when the audience doesn't like it? Like, they have kicked over popcorn bucket, full popcorn bucket, and now they have
Rotten Tomatoes. That's what it's called.
well, no,
they
have they have the popcorn meter too, right, for the audience score.
Oh, the
the
popcornometer.
You know, so they have kicked over popcorn bucket, they have full popcorn bucket, now they have certified hot popcorn. So I guess regular popcorn's just kind of like, you know, it was warm when I got
This
it. but I've been in
popcorn's
here for a few
certified
minutes.
hot. It's not just in the warmer.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know, yeah, I don't know how many people use Fandango, but I'm sure it must be enough for them to feel
I can tell you
feel
the
like they can
former
get away with it.
disgraced host of the show, Andrew Nichols, still uses Fandango religiously. He told me so last week.
Is Fandango? Do they offer
Wow.
better deals? Like, I buy straight through the.
I don't know that it's better deals as much as it is like all the various theaters in one spot. If you're a person who goes to multiple chains, I guess.
And
I
they got
think
all
he
those
does.
events that he likes to go to.
Yeah, the Fandango.
So I'm looking-
or not Fandango, the Fathom events, stuff like that. So you can buy it all in one.
And
app.
I'm sure they got all the anniversary stuff, and when they're doing, I'm sure it's got a whole bunch of stuff on it.
Oh my gosh,
it might be
am I
helpful.
gonna
It's like
download
maybe it's
Fandango?
TV Guide for movies. Who knows? I don't use
So
it.
I'm looking at my I'm looking at my 4 favorites on Letterboxd here, through Rotten Tomatoes, and 2 of mine would be certified hot. One would be just outside. You said 90% was certified hot. Mm-hmm. One of mine would be just outside, and then one would be
Well,
unfortunately
only if it's
well
from
below.
among people who purchased the
Right.
tickets through Fandango.
See, and that's what we don't really know. Is
That's what
in
we
the
don't know.
past, we can't go back in time and give Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade a certified hot.
Nope.
Because Fandango probably didn't exist in 1989.
Exactly.
1990. The Prestige would also make it. That's one of my other ones. It's at a 92%. Well, Brother Where Art Thou just at 89. That
Yeah.
sucks.
It's
And Night Sales
I don't know.
71.
We'll have to start paying attention to it as it rolls out and see what, if any, impact it has. I'm sure it will be the talk of the world.
Yeah, is it out
imminently.
officially now? Like, what's?
I don't care.
I wonder if there's a way to find
I
out.
would assume
if
it's out
anything's
now,
already been ready.
but they have to start doing it for the bad.
I'm sure it will have a nice little rollout. But we have been talking about what we're going to roll out for the rest of the year.
Yes, that's
And we are winding
out too,
down
certified.
our theme of Action August.
Yes.
We are rolling into the end of the year, which is mostly themes. And so we're excited to talk about it.
We are. A lot of things
many
coming
things.
up this year. This is
Yeah.
and going into September, we're doing a first for us. This September, we're doing all sports, baby. We're doing sports September. All movies are sports themed. We're gonna, of course, have one from each of our 3 hosts here, and we're going to have an audience pick that you guys, our listeners and viewers, will vote on through our social media channels at So Many Sequels Pod. Can't wait. Let's go ahead and announce each of our picks and kind of just a little brief of why. Well, yeah, just a brief version. Anyone dying to go first? Actually, we haven't decided who's going to open the month.
I kinda feel like Garrett should, because Garrett's had his pick the longest. You know, like Garrett
That is
knew, I think,
true.
as far back as June. what he
You
was going
picked
with.
pretty quickly.
Yeah, I'm going with a classic, A League of Their Own, which focuses on Tom Hanks, Gina Davis, Rosie O'Donnell, Madonna, and the Women's Baseball League. I'm very excited about it. Growing up, my sister played softball, and so my whole childhood was me traveling the regional area with a softball team, not afraid to throw the VHS of A League of Their Own in the van that had the TV in the middle of it, and we would watch it on the trip. And so this movie is one that I have big love for, and I'm excited to talk about it on the show.
I'm excited to rewatch it with you guys.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna preview. I love A League of Their Own. Great comedy that also has like really good drama as well. Like it's a great movie. Josh, you ever seen A League of Their Own?
I have seen A League of Their Own, and have you guys seen the commercials? What are they for? I saw it in your eyes, David. It's Gina Davis doing the. Is it Gina Davis doing it?
No, I think it's Jennifer Garner.
You're right. It's Jennifer Garner doing the whole. There's no crying in baseball.
Yeah, but it's What's in Your Wallet? Who does those?
That one.
What commercial?
Capital
is that?
One.
Capital One.
So it's back. So there's the League of Their Own back in some kind of way, back in the zeitgeist. I don't know why, but I keep seeing that commercial and it makes me think of it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I am going to have us watch White Men Can't Jump from 1992, starring Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson. I'm pretty excited about this. It is not your traditional sports movie because it's not, about teams or any leagues or anything like that. It's about street ball, two guys hustling each other, talking shit. A lot of that in this movie. It's been a long time since I saw it, but I remember it being funny. We'll see how it compares now. But I just think it's going to be a fun movie that's kind of outside of our regular zone.
Yeah, I think that's a cool pick. I'm looking forward to it.
I noticed it was in your watch list, David.
It is in my watch list. I will watch, and so I'm excited to cross it off my blind spot. That's for sure. Garrett, have you seen White Men Can't Jump?
No, I haven't. This will be a first for me. So you know what? I've seen bits and pieces of it on like TBS.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, that's about as much as I've seen. So I'm excited to watch it, and I've heard great things. I'm very excited to see the dynamic of the two.
And I'm going to be closing us out, or I don't know, it might go second. I don't really know. But my pick, keying off of this year's Paris Olympics, I'm going with Cool Runnings. Now, these are Winter Olympics, so they wouldn't count towards this year. But
cycle,
still, it's the Olympics, right? So I'm going with Cool Runnings, starring John Candy and company. And this was a fun movie when I was a kid, wildly historically inaccurate from what I understand, but still a ton of fun. A true underdog story.
Yeah, this was everybody loves John Candy. He's was such a wonderful human being, it seemed. And definitely not historically accurate, but a fun, family-friendly movie with a good, inspiring story behind it.
Yeah, I like most Americans anyway, age 35 and under, first saw this movie in elementary school for no reason. This is what they showed for any reason. Did it rain during recess? Go inside, watch Cool Runnings. Is it like a weird field day thing, last day of school? Go inside, watch Cool Runnings. They just played Cool Runnings all the time. I swear this is where I watched it every time. But I do remember 100%. Loving it. I'm excited to go back and look at it. I'm really excited to go back and look at it through that Olympic lens and see what even they bothered trying to get right. It
also, John Candy, but also Dougie Doug, and I love Dougie Doug. In anything, he's
I
great.
feel like they showed this movie to everyone because in like 1993 they were like, "Can you believe Jamaica snow
with a bobsled team?" Can't
even believe that there could be snow.
So I think there's one thing we've keyed in on really well here is that early 90s were a great time for sports movies because we have two 92s and a 1993 movie on our list. So
it was. I think there was a surge of them in the 90s, and there's several more to choose from. We're gonna drop some options for our audience pick, as well as put out some questions asking for you guys to drop in your suggestions. But I mean, there's so many more that we didn't even pick or get to talk about. We got Remember the Titans. It's a classic. Any Given Sunday. Tin Cup. Air Bud. Sport movie.
Air Bud.
There's nothing in the rules. There's nothing in the rules.
There's nothing in the rules that says Air Bud it can't be reviewed on so many sequels.
There's nothing. Rudy, remember that with Samwise Gamgee? That could be good. There's a lot of options. So check out our social media, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, at So Many Sequels Pod. We'll be dropping those. And really, we're just going into themes for the rest of the year. After that is our annual So Many Scares.
Oh,
Needs
yeah.
no introduction. We're doing horror movies.
Bro, there's
all
so
month
many
long.
good horror movies coming up, too.
There
that we
are,
can
and
get
there's been a lot
and
out
prep
this
for.
year.
If you've
Yeah.
been
Been a
watching the
decent
show, if you've been a long-time listener to the show, So Many Scares is one of our greatest traditions, going
Right.
all the way back to year one when we went through the Halloween movies.
Yep.
Now, I wasn't here for this, but it was one of the things that inspired me to come on this show. Because every episode, Andrew compared Michael Myers to Jaws, but didn't really elaborate on what that meant. And it just stuck with me. I was like, please, you can't just say he's like Jaws. Anyway,
He can and he did.
I know what he meant.
So yeah, we got So Many Scares in October. In November, we got a really fun one. It's been 25 years since 1999. One of the greatest years in film, many say. A lot of great films came out
A lot
that
of people
year.
are
The
saying that.
Matrix, Toy Story 2. A lot of movies I listed too, but there's more. So we're going to do 1999, November 1999. It's going to be fun. All movies from 1999. And then we'll close out with So Many Santas in December, our annual Christmas movie party. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I can't wait. I like that we have these. I like that we're bringing in strategic picks, and I like that we have the opportunity to work in some of our audience picks. A good reason to join our Discord. They have first opportunity to give us their opinions and let their voices be heard on what should be included, and then we put those out
Right.
there for a vote. So
I don't know, guys. It's been like 6 or 7 years. I think the show's getting good. I think it's starting to get
wow,
good.
we're finally finding our stride.
All right, let's start to close out here. David, give us a rundown of the weekly box office report. It's a competitive time period right now. Weirdly, for August.
It is. We have a lot of the big hitters from the early summer still kicking around, and you have some debuting movies, but August is often when movies that don't have a built-in audience, let's say, kind of get dropped. So you get some, maybe some experimental movies. You get some first-time directors often debuting in August, and that's sort of the case here. Deadpool and Wolverine jump back up to the number 1 spot with 18.3 million. That movie's doing very, very well, up to over 577 million in the United States this year, the number 2 movie of the year behind Inside Out. Alien Romulus slides down to number 2, but still a good second weekend with 16.2 mil. It ends with Us, stays at number 3 with 11.8 million. That movie has a really good chance to make it to like 150 domestic, which would be very good for like a drama with, not really like a big name director, has a fairly notable star, but obviously a big book following for the book.
That movie's got a lot of weird drama around it, though, and I don't want to touch
It
it with
does.
a 10-foot pole.
That might be part of the whole thing. Who knows? Might be intentional. Might be the reason people are going to see the movie. I gotta see what this drama is about. And then at number 7 is the debuting Blink Twice. This is directed by, I believe, Zoe Kravitz. Is that correct?
That is correct. Debut.
Starring Channing Tatum. It kind of looks like a mix of Get Out and Glass Onion.
I was intrigued by this.
Now, did you see
Mine
this,
too.
Garrett?
It's on my watch list.
No, I'm intrigued. The trailer has me very intrigued to those. I just, I chose The Crow instead, unfortunately.
You did. But hey, you know what? It had to be done. And then in the number 5 spot, you have The Forge, which brought in 6.6 million. Don't actually know anything about The Forge. I'll mention this just because we have a few more seconds here. Is that I told you Twisters is at number 6. Coraline, which I told you about last week, was getting a 15th anniversary re-release, did another 5 million this week. So actually doing really well. Coraline back in theaters, and then The Crow debuts at number 8, just behind Coraline with 4.6 million for its opening weekend. I already told you Inside Out 2 is number 1 movie of the year, followed by Deadpool and Wolverine. It hasn't really changed over the last few weeks, so it's been a much better end of the summer. Really interested to see how we close out the end of how Q4 goes for the year.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us here on this weekly update episode of So Many Sequels. If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe here on YouTube or in your favorite podcasting app. Your support there really helps us out. We're trying to reach a goal of 316 YouTube subscribers, so help us get there so we can bump it up again and reach a new goal. And if you want to get even more involved with us, we do have a Patreon you can join, patreon.com/so-many-sequels. You get access to our Discord that way, where you can chat with us about movies and all kinds of other fun stuff there. Don't forget, again, follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and Facebook at So Many Sequels Pod. We'd love to hear what you think of the show and what episode or what movies you'd like to see us review down the line. All right, that's all for today. Stay tuned for more fun episodes coming out soon.